For the third time in 5 years, the Clippers and Mavericks will face each other in the first round of the NBA playoffs, and this promises to be the best series of this matchup yet. On the Clippers side, this team has so much talent, and for the first time, we're really seeing a big four of sorts, as you have two former MVPs, a former Finals MVP times two in Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George has been an All-NBA player for most of his career, if not an All-Star. And then when you add in a player like Ivica Zubac, who is a above-average center and can hold his own in most matchups with most other centers in the NBA, and a sixth man of the year candidate in Norman Powell, you have a very loaded team. And this team has the entire recipe to be a very successful team in the playoffs, as you have a superstar who can play on both ends of the floor and hit clutch shots time and time again throughout big games and big moments in the playoffs in Kawhi Leonard, who has been here before and at this season, in the regular season, averaged 23.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists while playing elite wing defense. And to pair alongside Kawhi, you have Paul George, who averaged 22.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. And then you add in an elite playmaker in James Harden, who has really transformed his game from being a pure scorer to being a facilitator who can also score the ball at an elite rate. Harden averaged 16.5 points and 8.5 assists this year while being the perfect setup man for Kawhi and PG throughout the season. And these three guys are obviously the big three in LA, but outside of that, this Clippers team has so much depth scoring in Russell Westbrook, who's come off the bench in most of the games he's played. You have Norman Powell averaging 14 points on 43.5% shooting from the three-point line. And then you have Ivica Zubac, who has been an above-average center throughout this entire season. And this team is very scary in a playoff series because with some teams in the playoff hunt right now, you have the offensive game, but you don't have a star that can lock down on the other end, and you don't have players that you trust in clutch moments. But Kawhi Leonard has been one of the most clutch players throughout his entire NBA career, and on this Clippers team, you have other guys who can hit big shots in big moments, such as James Harden and Paul George, who have both been in big-time playoff series before. And on the other side of this series, you have Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, who are two of the most clutch players in the entire league as well, with the most notable moment coming with Kyrie Irving in the NBA Finals in 2016, where he hit the shot over Steph Curry to win the NBA Finals. And these two guys are clearly the best two players on this team. And while this team doesn't have necessarily the same firepower that the LA Clippers do in terms of having multiple stars and amazing bench depth, this team is still very dangerous in a playoff series because Luka is proving why he's an MVP candidate year in and year out, averaging 34 points, 9 rebounds, and nearly 10 assists a game, while I have to admit he's improved his defense drastically throughout the past couple of seasons and throughout his career as a whole. And Kyrie has been a perfect second option, averaging 25.5, 5 rebounds and 5 assists a game. And he's been able to pick this team up on his shoulders and really drag them to wins when Luka was out for a couple of games or when Luka may be having an off game. And these two complement each other perfectly. And after last year's disaster in the latter part of the season where they actually ended up missing even the play-in as the 11th seed, this duo has gelled perfectly and proven the doubters wrong in the media. And they've really elevated the play of multiple other players on this team, such as Tim Hardaway and Derek Lively Jr., who have both stepped into their roles nicely as Mavericks this season. And it's really exciting to see where the series could go. And I really do think that it's going to come down to Game 7. But my prediction for this series is that LA's superstar power will come out on top and they'll end up winning in Game 7 and they'll make a deep playoff run. And they're actually my choice to go to the NBA Finals in the Western Conference, beating out Denver for that spot. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. God bless you all. I hope you have an amazing day, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be one of the first 100 subscribers to this channel. God bless.